30 years had passed since James Forster vanished from Gravey Isle. Official records listed him as lost at sea, though no one could explain how a man disappeared without a boat. The lighthouse had remained unoccupied all that time, left to rot under storms and salt. Locals said the island was cursed, that the light still shone even when no one was there to turn it on. In 1933, the government sent a new keeper to restore the lighthouse. His name was Elijah Mercer, a pragmatic man, former Navy engineer, and deeply skeptical of superstitions. He arrived with supplies, tools, and a promise to himself: finish 6 months of service, get paid, and return to the mainland for good. The island welcomed him with silence. Birds flew low, waves whispered, and the lighthouse stood tall, its windows clouded, as if the building itself were holding its breath. Inside, everything was decayed but intact furniture worn, records yellowed, and in the main room, a single chair facing the sea, still holding Forster's coat. Elijah dismissed the old stories. He began restoring the generator, rewiring the light, and logging entries in a new journal. But on his third night, he noticed something strange. The lens room at the top had fogged over, despite no humidity or heat. When he touched the glass, it felt warm, alive almost. And faintly, just faintly, he thought he heard a low hum. On the fifth night, the lamp turned on by itself. Not once, but 3 times. Elijah dismantled the switchboard, checked every circuit, even unplugged the main line. But when he climbed the stairs again, the lens glowed softly on its own. And beneath the hum, a whisper, another one to feed the flame. He tried to leave the island the next morning, but the radio wouldn't work. His flare gun misfired. The sea grew violent without warning, and the supply boat scheduled to return never came. Trapped. Each night, the whispers grew louder. The light no longer obeyed physics. Sometimes it would flash blue, other times pulse red. At dawn, it would flicker rapidly, like something behind it was trying to signal, like something wanted out. One night, Elijah followed the sound down into the basement, a place he hadn't yet explored. Behind an old boiler, he found a hatch in the floor. It creaked open to reveal a narrow stone tunnel leading deep beneath the lighthouse. What he found beneath was not meant to be seen by man. The tunnel ended in a circular chamber carved from black stone. At its center stood an ancient mirror, covered in dust and salt. When Elijah looked into it, he saw not himself but Forster. And behind Forster, dozens of others, eyes glowing, mouths open in silent screams. A voice filled the chamber, not with words, but with knowing. The light was not built to guide ships. It was built to trap what came from the sea. As Elijah backed away, the mirror cracked. From its center, light began to spill, pure, blinding, and wrong. It wasn't light like fire or sun. It was light that pulsed like thought, like hunger. He ran. Up the tunnel, through the basement, to the stairs. But the light followed, crawled behind his eyes. It began to whisper inside his skull. The last keeper let it loose. You must seal it again, or burn. At the top of the lighthouse, Elijah found the lens pulsing. The machinery around it had melted. There were no switches left, no controls, just the glow. And in that glow, shadows moved. Elijah stepped closer. His skin blistered. His heartbeat slowed. As he reached out his hand, he saw his own reflection, wide-eyed, mouth slack, like the others. The final entry in Elijah's journal was found years later, discovered by a salvage crew when a storm wrecked a cargo ship nearby. The lighthouse, once again abandoned, stood with its light burning blue. The journal read, "The lighthouse is not a building. It's a gate, and every time the light turns on, something steps through."